Well, it is roughly 11 o'clock here in the small town of Harrison in Idaho, and the weather isn't quite as pleasant as we had thought it would be today. It was supposed to be sunny skies, but as you can see, skies are definitely a little on the cloudy, but at least we don't have any rain. So today we are cycling from Harrison here in Idaho along the lakeshore of Coeur, and we're going to be riding to Wallace, Idaho, and from there we'll carry on along the route of the Hiawatha to Avery. So here goes our journey, June 1st, Harrison to Wallace, Idaho. We're roughly 15 miles into our ride from Harrison to Wallace, Idaho, and yeah, it's a really nice ride today. A few people already on the trail, and weather's holding out, so here we're going to continue on. I'm just going to catch up to Sylvia here. It's 2 o'clock, and we are how many miles into our trip, Sylvia? 26 miles into our trip. We are now in the little town of Cataldo, and not a heck of a lot to see here, but we're just having a little bit of a lunch break, and then we're going to carry on. Okay, well, we've arrived into Wallace. It's about 5:30ish, is it about right, Sylvia? Beautiful ride. And we've got cabin number 2, and we're just checking in here. RV park behind me on the other side of the creek is fairly busy. And here's our little chalet right here. Cabin number 2, cabin number 1, and a little picnic area. And we are about to start the second leg of our bicycle trip from Wallace, Idaho. It'll connect into the route of the Hiawatha, and from there we carry on towards Avery, where our next cabin awaits us. Had a great night's rest here at the Wallace RV Park, cabin number 2 behind me here. A little bit warmer than had we been in a tent, because it was pretty brisk last night. And here we go. We'll do a little tour of Wallace, Idaho before we head on the road, and then we're off. Roughly an hour's ride, a little bit less here, to Mullen from Wallace. Looking down the odometer, a grand 6.6 miles, so stopped just a couple times just to peel off some layers of clothes. So you can see today it's just a beautiful day today. Sharp contrast from what we had yesterday. So the bulk of the trail so far from Wallace courses along the interstate, but it's a paved path and very few people on it. Gorgeous day. We're going to carry on now from the town of Mullen. We're going to go work our way towards Lookout Pass, Taft, then the Hiawatha to Avery. Okay, 11:45. It's taken us a while to get out of Mullen because it was a little hard to find the trail. It was rather inconspicuously hidden by a fish hatchery. Who would have thought that? Anyhow, it then follows along sort of like a gravel road, like you're in the Christian Valley, British Columbia, but it's going to skirt its way up and above these mountains here. And then we should be at Lookout Pass in a while. We're just going to have a little snack here first. I'm Sylvia, and she's working up her way on this trail. We're still not at Lookout Pass, just passing one of the ski lifts here. A bit of a redundant milk run up switchbacks, also known as logging road. Still smiling though. Okay, so here we are at the ski area. Town of Mullen is off in the distance over there. Takes you through all this mining country here. Fish hatchery is basically down below us. So it's been like a goddamn hour milk run switchbacking through these valleys and up and around just to get to this point right here. But we're here now at the ski area and we still have to get up to the Hiawatha. Here we are in the Hiawatha, right, Sylvia?
Yeah.
Finally.
Made it.
So the trail goes down, and I'm not sure if you appreciate, but way off in the distance there's a trestle there. And we've got a bus coming down here. Full fucking tilt, of course. We're going over one of the trestles here. It's the Barnes Creek Trestle. Working our way down to the bottom there. Well, it's a little after 6:30 and we've arrived into Avery. And we're on the other side, on the, I guess the southern side of the St. Joe River. And here's our little cabin back there. Here's Sylvia, she's happy as a lark because we finally arrived. And so we're gonna have ourselves a dinner here and then we'll be shutting her down at the end of the day. Well, good morning, it's Sunday, June the 3rd. We are currently in the little town of Avery in Idaho along the St. Joe River. Stayed at the cabins by the Joe here in Avery. Small, quaint little place here. $79, but it meets all of the requirements and it gets you off the road. So it worked out well. Beautiful day today. We're going to be riding about 63 miles today. So it's a little longer, but we are not going to have to go on the gravel as we did yesterday. And some pretty sketchy parts along the Hiawatha, which we had some concerns about our tires. But it'll be pavement all the way to Harrison. So the ride from Avery to Harrison takes you primarily along the St. Joe River. It's a paved road and relatively safe up to St. Mary's. But from there it gets a little bit more sketchy and the traffic definitely picks up. So not the safest stretch of highway as you go towards Harrison. We didn't do a lot of filming as a result. So hopefully this video helps you out if you're planning to take the Trail of the Coeur d'Alenes.